when you say strange, this is strange. But then to some people, this might not be strange. Obama, former United States president, sponsored Buhari's presidency to sustain Boko Haram insurgency. Heben Ballo. There are new revelations that the Boko Haram terrorists, which ravaged Nigeria for over a decade, may have been aided by the actions of the United States under President Barack Obama's administration. Some stories are emerging out there. This was hinted by a private military contractor, Mr. Ibn Ballo, who recently revealed that the United States government played a role that sustained the insurgency through sponsorship of President Muhammadu Buhari's election and emergence in 2015. Ballo was contracted by Nigeria under Goodluck Jonathan administration to rescue the Chibok girls and to also train and improve capacity of Nigerian army against Boko Haram. But the United States interfered and the contract was terminated and operations against Boko Haram terrorists aborted. Ballo, who disclosed this in an interview with Al Jazeera on Sunday, said the contract was terminated by President Muhammadu Buhari when he immediately came to power, and whose campaign was funded by the United States and his campaign manager also from the United States of America. He said even before the contract was aborted, his prior mission to rescue the Chibok girls was changed weeks after training a hostage rescue team. According to him, the mission to eliminate Boko Haram, which was almost achieved towards the end of Jonathan's presidency, was thwarted by the United States of America through President Buhari, who aborted the contract to finish his mission in the northeastern part of Nigeria. He said, and I quote, this is what is out there, "Our initial aim was not Boko Haram. It was to rescue the Chibok girls that were kidnapped, and the rescue response was save the girls. That type of nonsense does not save girls." Unfortunately, these girls became victims of a situation where the security had broken down in a specific area. They were kidnapped, and that was the first mission: rescue the Chibok girls. And we then did the selection process of the Nigerian soldiers, and we trained them in a very specific way to conduct hostage rescue operation. And that requires a very specific type of person to do such. However, approximately 5 or 6 weeks into training of the hostage rescue team, we were asked to change our mission. And that mission was to go down to a town called Maduguri in northeastern part of Nigeria. And that has come under severe threat of Boko Haram. We then rapidly had to transition what we were doing and suddenly train a very offensive force with a minimum of equipment, and we rushed to Maduguri and we met with the 7th Infantry Division commander, which we understood the pressure he was under, and our suggestion was to him was this force that we had trained, which we renamed the 72nd Mobile Strike Force, would actually spearhead the division, and that is precisely what we did. He went further to say the operation was in 3 phases. The first phase was to actually cut a divided line across the Boko Haram into 2 defined areas, and the mop-up one area in the south, and after that was the mop-up in the north. But we were never allowed to execute the entire operation because it came at a time when government was in process of changing. The incoming president, Muhammadu Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of their first mission was to terminate our contract. The United States had actually funded Buhari's campaign, and the campaign manager of President Buhari came from the United States. I am not saying US is bad. I understand foreign interest, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram or the integrity of the state of Nigeria or the Chibok girls ought to be a priority, but it was not. Ballo also disclosed that once into his operation in Maiduguri, territories as large as Belgium were recaptured from the Boko Haram terrorists, as at the time President Jonathan was still in power, but regretted that they were not allowed to finish the mission due to foreign interests. He further expressed concern that most conflict in Africa was as a result of a clash between foreign interest and a state-owned domestic interest, and the conflict continued despite money and resources being thrown out. Now, this is more or less a revelation because a lot of people do not know that foreign countries make sure that the rest of the countries, such as the Middle Eastern part of the world, that is the Middle East, Africa, always remain in perpetual conflict. There is a way, because they also know that, for example, Buhari knows nothing else than, I want to be president. So they kicked out Goodluck Jonathan because Goodluck Jonathan wasn't speaking against corruption. He once said that stealing is not corruption. What do we call that? What do we call that? So he said certain words, and a lot of things were happening under his watch, not because he's the only corrupt person. Of course, past administration, all of them are corrupt. There's nobody clean. But then, why were they so interested in pushing in this man? Not because he has not contested several times, but somehow, with the help of, the media, thinking he's a man of integrity, with APC spearheaded by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the rest, they somehow, and because he's from the northern part of Nigeria, they were able to rally around somehow, and he got that position, and one thought he would have done the best. But now, he claimed that he's doing what he has to do, he's trying to do the best, but something is missing here. As I said, initially, there is always foreign interest in countries. Weapons will be sold, and once those countries are in perpetual conflict, it gives maybe this other foreign country, gives these foreign countries some form of, I don't know, there is a kind of way they handle all of these things to their own interests. There are times that they will say, okay, you know what, let us bring peace here. Okay, there are times they say, okay, you know what, let us cause conflict. Now, I'll tell you guys something for free. There is no way that conflict will exist without the people inside. There is a proverb that says, if the rat inside of the house or the cat inside of the house did not go out, it's not so possible for the ones outside to come inside and begin to dominate. So simply put, there is a hedge that has been broken. That is why many of these foreign countries will come in. Although many of them, they make certain decisions and they realize at the end of the day that they've made a mistake. Probably they felt, okay, if this man comes in, he will be able to fight these terrorist activities. Let us cut away from it a little bit. But somehow something went wrong. And from what this man has just said, he said the change of government made that Chibok girls, it made it a difficult thing for them to be rescued. And also, Buhari, I don't really understand. There are times that they've quoted that he said, allegedly, that fight against Boko Haram is the fight against the North, because he claimed that the Niger Delta militants are the same like the Boko Haram. But this is terrible. Now, this confession may come as a surprise to many people, but to some people, it is not a surprise. A lot of people believe that there is conspiracy between APC, between politicians that have decided to be what they are, and international communities. Some even believe that there is conspiracy between APC, government, with international international government and APC against Goodluck Jonathan. Now, 2015 election was, is a kind of situation that Goodluck Jonathan would have fought it, but he said, no, I'm not going to do that. There's no blood of any Nigerian that is worth any of this. Not because Goodluck Jonathan is anything better, but we are talking about how is it that is it that Nigeria, they are so, I don't really know what I want to say about this. How come although it is not Buhari's issue, the Chibok girls, it was under Goodluck Jonathan's watch. If the needful had been done, maybe they would have gotten those girls out, those young girls out. Yes, but there were certain things that were not right also in that administration. So a lot of things went till today. We cannot still point fingers at the Chibok girls, what is really happening to them. There is the other girl that is there, the Christian one. She's still there. She's still there. And recently, another cleric has been abducted by this same Boko Haram. And he's already saying it. If I don't come, take care of my children. Because he knows that he's in the mouth of the lion. Why is the government paying? Why are they paying Boko Haram whenever they capture people? They claim that they are trying to do that just to save at least a soul and get them back. Thereby, strengthening and enabling Boko Haram to be much stronger. They are now ISWAP. It is very easy for Boko Haram to be destroyed in Nigeria. Very, very, very easy. But these people are working against progress. That's what I say. So they are linking Obama decision with issues of Boko Haram and how he tried to push against Goodluck Jonathan, so that this man Buhari will come in. Probably he thought Buhari would do the needful, but right now we see what is happening. He has done his own. Even in Nigeria, in America, a lot of things have happened. But whatever it is, either it was part of it, it wasn't part of it. Either the man called Mr. Ballo is lying or he's not lying, Mr. Iben Ballo. Either he granted the interview or he did not grant the interview, whatever it is. The truth of the matter is that right now, the state of insecurity in Nigeria is a tough one. And it's something that is supposed to be looked into. So guys, that's what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.